So now we are going to discuss about the Spark architecture. So let's get into it. Into the Spark architecture, let's discuss about the cluster. So what is cluster? Cluster is a collection of nodes. It's basically a collection of nodes, and a Databricks cluster will have one driver node and one or more worker nodes. That I will show you how it will be. And a node is basically an individual machine. Like each and every node, you can call it as an individual machine. So these are the virtual machines on Azure. Each of these will have one or more number of cores. Here you can see the driver will have four number of cores, and each worker node will have four cores. Okay, so one driver can have one or more worker nodes as well. These worker nodes are nothing but executors that I will explain in further. And in Databricks cluster, a driver runs its own driver program on the JVM in driver node, and also it creates the Spark context. Okay, the driver program drives a processing, and it doesn't perform any of the computations which are needed to be done. For example, it communicates to the cluster manager to allocate resources and identify the number of jobs, like number of tasks, like what are all the number of stages to be created. Okay, so in this way, this will communicate to the cluster manager. The work can be parallelized in this way. Each of the worker nodes will be running on its executed JVMs that I will show you. Like in a standard Spark architecture, there can be more than one executor running on a node, like one or more executors running on a node and sharing the resources. But in the Databricks case, like that too, one executor runs on one JVM, and that's considered to be the most optimum and easier to manage the configurations and all. So this is what the major difference. And executors do all the data processing as well as reading the data and writing the data to the external data sources. Each executor will have one or more slots. Here you can see uh, these slots are just to execute the tasks whichever coming from the driver program. Okay, uh, these slots are generally equivalent to the number of cores that are present in the worker node. So like earlier in the previous slide, here you can see in the four cores were there in the executor node. Likewise the slots are there. So four cores and four slots, this is how it is equivalent. And these slots are place to execute the tasks that are received from the driver program. Okay, as I have already. So the driver is the one which runs the application. For example, I will show you. You are executing a command in the Databricks notebook, or you are running a Spark submit from outside of the Databricks notebook. It runs as an application on the driver. Okay, this driver program will runs as an application, and this application will be divided into jobs, stages, and tasks, okay, by the driver program. This Spark does this by trying to get as much as parallelism is possible. So this is how mainly based on the data can be partitioned and distributed across the cluster, as well as the stages that can be parallelized. So the important thing is these tasks are low level components that are needed to be executed. So the driver will assign the tasks to the slots which are present in the executors. These slots are there to perform the operations. Okay, so after performing the operations, this executor, the this will returns the results back to the driver, and this driver will returns the results back to the user. So this is how the Spark parallelizes the workload. So now let's discuss about the scaling to the cluster. Okay, so according to the requirement, you can use the types of scaling. Like we have two types of scalings. One is vertical scaling and the another one is horizontal scaling. So vertical scaling in the sense you are adding the one more core. Like in the previous slide we had two cores to the executor, right? So but here in this case you are added one more core to the executor. So according to the process of data requirement, you can add the number of cores to the worker node. So this is how the vertical scaling will works. Coming to the horizontal scaling, in the previous slide you have seen only two worker nodes, but here you can see three worker nodes along with the six cores. Each of them will have the six cores. That means you added one more worker node to the driver program. That means it helps us to process the large amount of data, petabytes of data that you can process by using the horizontal scaling. So according to the requirement of processing the data, you can use the type of scaling that you needed. So this is how the cluster scaling will works, and this is about the Spark architecture. So thanks for watching and do subscribe.